No. 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 No, you can't go for a ride. You're not good on a motorcycle, probably. No. 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 Hello everybody, Richard here from Sodak Motorcycle Blog. September 6th is the date today. It is the Sunday before Labor Day. Enjoying my last nice day of riding for the weekend. Tomorrow is supposed to be mid-50s. Snow overnight possibly. And highs in the low 40s on Tuesday, so yep. It is September in the Black Hills, and that's not, that shit happens all the time around here. I put a post of them talking about some snow next week in Colorado on Facebook yesterday. No, 3 days ago? Sometime in the last week, and oh my god, the comments were just hilarious. Of course, those are the ones for like people like me, people that live there, like, yeah, welcome to September here, and then the one's like, oh my god, it's too early. Well, here's the deal. It does that shit around here, man. Fortunately enough, it at worst is going to be a little dusting in most places, although they're talking 4 to 6 up towards like the higher elevations, like up Arts O'Neill Pass and that. But it's supposed to be back in the 70s again by the weekend, so next weekend. So I think we'll be fine. It's like I said, it's September in the Black Hills. So anyways, so I'm coming to you here from the iconic Iron Mountain Road, and today I wanted to show you, the question was asked a few weeks ago about my setup in one of my videos, and honestly I just wanted to share that with you. So here we go. Let's get through this first pigtail here. If you think that, oh, look where you want to go on the motorcycle is horseshit, come try it up here on Needles Highway and you'll be a believer of it. It's legit. So first thing you'll see on the left, the first thing you'll see is what most people see first thing is, well, this. And I'm going to give you a second here. Guess what that is? If you guess that it was the self-destruct lever, no, you're wrong. It is also not the communication for the space aliens. It is not an oh shit handle. It is actually an XM antenna, because you see my XM sitting right there. That is an antenna for my XM radio. Why do I have one that ridiculously big, you ask? Well, I used to drive a truck over the road, and that was the truck I used on my truck over the road. And the reason why you go with that one is because, well, most of your trucks are aluminum, which means, well, magnetic antennas don't stick to them very well. So, plus that low profile antenna don't work very good on a big truck. So, you take one of these antennas, and you can buy, if you want one for your bike, you can buy it for $40 at a truck stop, and you mount it on your mirror. And the mirror bar, that's where your antenna sits. And it works really good for the application. Well, when I bought my 1500, I wanted to put the XM on it, but I needed to think about an antenna. And I didn't really feel like spending another $40 for another antenna. And I didn't really feel like trying to like duct tape or glue that other antenna on it. So I'm like, well, so what I did, I had this sitting in one of my drawers in the tool or in the garage, and that's what I went with. I bought that. I went ahead and hooked it up there. Now on the 15R, I use zip ties to hold it on this one, and bear with me one second. Jesus. I actually heard that motorcycle. That's how I heard that coming through there. I heard the motorcycle. That was pretty close on that bike. So anyways, I sat there, I'm like, screw it, let's put it on there. Well, on this 1800, I actually got some holes drilled out. You can probably see them right there. Basically, I bored out the holes a little bit more. That way I could still use the clutch mount bolts to hold it in. So that's what I use. And then I've got two, there's the regular spacers, and then to put my mount for the XM behind it, to make that work, I actually had to put two additional spacers in there. And all those additional spacers they're just an oversized bolt, basically. They're not threaded through there, they're not there to hold anything, they're meant to be a spacer. And the perch bolts themselves, I just went and figured out about how long I would need, and I bought an assortment of bolts from my local, I bought them from Runnings, but you could go to any hardware store, anywhere that's got bolts. I would suggest if you have a metric bike, replace them with metric bolts. You know, it's, you know, that goes without saying, but you never know. But let's just say this, I wouldn't just say, hey, I need this bolt this long. Like, you better inform the parts guy that it's a metric bolt. And even then, you better check, because he probably will still get you the wrong thing, because most of your parts guys aren't the smartest people in the world anymore. And that's how that works. So there's that, there's the XM. It's, you can see the XM, it's got a, it's not a ram ball, but it's kind of a ball mount for it. And the bolt just kind of screw to the back of the Onyx kit, which is perfect. So now behind it, you'll see a ram ball kit. Now this is just an additional deal I just bought. Essentially, it uses the cover bolts for your clutch reservoir, and it uses them to hold the ram ball on it. Here's a word of advice. Through these tunnels, you get behind a car, use that car as your blocker. Bought this ram ball during rally. It's like a $20 part. Not terribly expensive. And it just adds me another place. My actual plan for it is I'm going to put a ball on that. That way I can put like my cell phone on there where I'm recording myself when I'm doing vlog videos. And it's another spot I can put something if I need to. Plus, it helps if I'm listening to just music on my phone. It's a little bit closer than this ram ball on the other side is. Now you notice I got a zip tie on there. That's actually the guy that sold that to me. He suggested I do that just in case it were to loosen up. I wouldn't lose my pressure in my clutch reservoir. So that's why the zip tie is on there. I don't think it will loosen up, but you know, like I said, if there's a little hint of, hey, people have had issues with this, well then I make sure and adapt to it so I don't have that issue. Because having a hydraulic clutch on a bike, that's the last thing you want to lose is, you know, your hydraulics. So moving right along to the right hand side here, you notice I have another ram ball there, right there. That was the original ram ball I bought. And then I've got a plate on front of it for that cup holder. That cup holder is just held down with just a standard bolt. I think this is a cheap like $20, $30 cup holder. I started with the plastic equivalent to it. That was a mistake because that thing fell apart on me. Like, you hit enough bumps and you got something with some weight in there, like my cup of coffee, that thing will break. It's only a matter of time before that thing will break on you. So I switched it up to the metal ones. That's what I use now. Now, the bolts on here, zooming right in there, those bolts, those once again are from the hardware store. Like I said, you don't have to use the bolts they give you. Like, you can go to the damn hardware store and buy bolts. I mean, they sell them. They sell metric bolts. Just think outside the box a little bit. That way I can use my clutch reservoirs for everything. I don't have to buy an extra bar. I don't have to zip tie anything to handlebars, anything like that. So that's why I do it that way. And I haven't had a bit of issue with anything moving around on here. Another additional setup I have is this is where my that's my USB outlet. I don't know if you can see it there, but right there on the handlebar, that's my USB outlet. So I put that outlet there. That comes actually right off the accessory port on my Goldwing. So that is switched on with the key, and I can charge my phone, or I use it more to keep my my phone that I've converted to use as GPS charged. I have a 6-inch RAM ball. I also have a 4.5-inch swivel mount. I use the swivel now on this right hand side, so that way I can keep my phone at it, or my GPS or phone or whatever, at an angle that won't block the mirror. Because with that 6-inch ball, I'd have issues with my mirror being blocked here all the time. It drove me nuts. So with that swivel ball, I've eliminated that. Talking about the GPS I have, basically I have just an old phone. It's a Samsung A10e. And what I did is, it's offline. I downloaded the Here app, and on the Here app you can download the basically maps from all over the world. Download them right to the phone. I think the whole United States is like 6.5 gigs, which is just fine for that phone. And then guess what? You got a GPS. It was like a $200 phone. I decided I didn't like it. You know, I switched to a different one, but I kept that phone. It was $200 out of my pocket, and let's be honest, you probably spend $100 for your GPS that the maps don't update on, that you can't just go and update the maps on. So with that, I can update my maps when I need to. Plus, in the end, it's a crappy phone and it ain't got an SD card in it. So guess what? I can leave it on the bike when I'm riding down the road and it's fine. I ain't got to worry about it. Just, it stays right there. Now, the reason I run the RAM mounts and not, like, you know, the Rockford mounts or whatever, a lot of it's because, well, I don't have to buy a bunch of new cases. The other thing I like about it is, yep, it's not as quick on and off as a Rockford is, but you know what? I got the straps on there. I'll hold it on there just fine. Plus, I can kind of move a Rambo mount around a little bit more where I want it to go if I decide I want it somewhere else. It really comes in handy when I'm trying to record something or record myself. That comes in handy. Plus, I don't think the Rockford mounts would work as good on mine just because of how busy my clutch mounts are right now. I don't know if I'd have room for a Rockford mount that would work just fine. So that's why I don't use it. And it looks like a great product, and I think it'd be great for someone to use, but what can I say? If I switch my phone or whatever, all I gotta buy for that phone is just the corresponding outer box, and I ain't gotta buy anything else special or rely on something like glue or something to hold it on. So that's why I do that way. I can't rev, but by God, I can honk my horn, you see? That's what I can do. I can honk my horn. That's about all I can do. There, that's for when I left you in suspense on YO and Sodak Part 1 in the tunnel when I made the reference. I could honk my horn though, and didn't honk my horn. So, there you go. Can't say I didn't give you anything. Okay, everybody, so here is my setup for my helmet. So, run an HJC helmet. It is the one that the modular helmet. I believe it's the IS-33. I'll have links to what this actually is. So, got that. So because I can't, as you can kind of see the front here, there isn't really a good spot to mount a phone, mount anything. I actually got my mount here on the side, and that's just held on with some of that really good 3M tape. Then I've got this little deal here. I used to have a couple multiple ones, but this is actually a complete kit you can buy. And I've got links to all these for Amazon, but basically everything's there. It all ties down with screws except for the main one. You can kind of put it where you want. this little setup here, this is a this little contraption. It's basically a little holder, and what it does, it holds that. You can see that my microphone mount is right there, the microphone adapter for the Heroes. Like the Hero 5 and above, you need the special microphone adapter because, you know, GoPro thought it was a good idea. Well, this little case is designed to hold your little adapter in it without having to use a zip tie or anything like that. So that's nice. And so I've got that on there, and it mounts it all together and all in one piece, so it's all in one setup. If I wanted to, I could put another microphone up here. I may buy a good one to put up there eventually, something I can sit down and I can use that to record my videos at home. So, anyways, also you've got the microphone here. This microphone is just a basic microphone. You've got the little adapter to fit it into here. If you're using the GoPro, you need to use the 3-way audio. It's the one that's got the 3 pieces of metal on it, not the 4, because otherwise most of them won't work right. So I got that microphone here, and I don't know if you can tell, there's a little tiny microphone right up there. That's the end of it. That's the little end of it. It's like I said, just a standard clip-on face microphone. That's all there is to it. So, anyways, there's my setup. So, I guess till next time, this is Clutch from the Sodak Motorcycle Log, wishing you well and reminding you to keep the rubber side down and enjoy the ride.